What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. Right now, I want to break down the 3 tribes in Survivor 50. The tribe makeup has been released, and I want to go through each tribe and kind of talk about them a little bit. So let's do this. But before I do that, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm at 1,905 right now. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I put out a lot of Survivor content, a lot of movie reviews, put up some family videos, some track and field videos. I coach track. I'm involved in athletics, so I put up some of that. I just kind of put up stuff that I'm interested in and into. So some trailer reactions. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, that'd be great. Thanks. All right, let's talk about Survivor 50. First, we have the Sela tribe that will always wear orange. In that tribe, we have in that tribe, we have Christian, we have Sari, Emily, Jenna, Joe, Ozzy, Rick, and Savannah. The first thing to stand out to me with the Sela tribe is that Sari and Ozzy are on the same tribe. They have a lot of history together, obviously a history dating back to Micronesia. And if you'll remember, in Micronesia, Sari was instrumental in getting Ozzy voted out. So I don't know if that history will come into play. I'm fairly certain that they've put some of that behind them and that they are on good terms now. But they have played together before, and it hasn't always ended well, especially for Ozzy. So we'll see how that comes into play. My guess is they're going to work together fine. I think the big question mark is Ozzy still a challenge beast? He's gotten older, and, I think the question is, can he still compete in challenges like he did the last couple times that he's played? If he is still a challenge beast, this could very well be a very dangerous tribe as far as challenges are concerned. We've got Joe in there. We've got Savannah in there. Savannah established herself as a challenge beast in 49. We have Christian, who's good at puzzles. We've got some good challenge personalities in this tribe. I don't know where Rick is going to fit in, which obviously is somebody that I'm rooting for. I very much like Rick, and I'm not too sure where he's going to fit in with this group. I think I could see him and Savannah hitting it off, but I don't really know where he fits in. I'm also not sure where I see Jenna fitting in. Jenna goes all the way back to season 1 and then season 7 All-Stars. I think it's been like 22, 23 years since Jenna's played. I do think she's kept up with the show, so she probably knows who these people are, and obviously these people are going to know who she is. I could see her kind of latching on to Joe. I think that having a strong male in her corner has been in some ways part of her gameplay, so I could see her latching on to Joe. Finally, Emily. I could see Emily being the first boot in this group. I just don't see her gelling with anybody in this group except for maybe Christian. So overall, I don't think this is the strongest tribe out there. I'm very much rooting for Savannah. I feel like I'm on an island as being the biggest Savannah Louie fan ever in the history of Survivor since she's been playing. I'm a big fan. I also really am rooting for Jenna and Sari. I like the old school players, and I'm definitely rooting for them. Ozzy, I just don't think there's much strategy behind his gameplay. Maybe he'll come out and surprise us all. All right, so that's the Sela tribe. Next, we have the Callow tribe, which will always wear green. In that, we have Charlie, Chrissy, Coach, Dee, John, Mike, Tiffany, and Camilla. The first thing that really stands out to me is I don't know how good this tribe will be at challenges, especially physical challenges. Now, obviously, we've got John in there. John is going to be a beast in challenges. I think Tiffany is very athletic, and I think that Dee will definitely hold her own in challenges as well. But just looking at this tribe, I just don't know how strong they're going to be. You've got Camilla in there. You've got Mike in there. Coach is no spring chicken anymore. Chrissy, I just don't know how strong this group is going to be at challenges. I could see this group losing the first couple physical challenges. Obviously, being an old school fan, I am rooting for Coach to go far. I'd like to see him go far simply because I think he makes good TV. He's a very good storyteller, he's a very good narrator, he's entertaining to watch. I'd love to see him go all the way to the Final Four just because I like watching him on TV. I think Mike is also a very good storyteller. I don't see Mike making it too long into this game. There's two players here that I think we could see make it very far into this game. The first one is John. I think John's going to be an asset to this group in the beginning. And if he makes it to the merge, he could go on a winning streak that's just going to keep him around indefinitely. I also could see Tiffany going very far in this game. Tiffany is someone who I think she's one of those people that fans kind of raised eyebrows when we found out she was coming back. She was a personality when she played, but she didn't really go all that far and maybe wasn't all that memorable. But Survivor returning seasons kind of have a precedent of people like Tiffany making it all the way to the end, going all the way back to All-Stars when Amber won. And, Amber was by no means the most dominant force in Australia. So I could see Tiffany making a very long run in this game. But I just don't think that this tribe is going to stay intact for long. All right. The final tribe is Vatu, which will always wear pink. And in it, we have Angelina, Aubrey, Colby, Genevieve, Kyle, Q, Rizzo, and Stephanie. I think that this is going to be our dominant tribe in challenges. We've got some very fit, very good athletic performers in this. Kyle, Q, Rizzo has proven that he can do well in challenges. If Colby has the same kind of mentality to perform well that he says that he has in pregame interviews, if it's Australia and All-Star Colby and not Heroes versus Villains Colby, he could definitely be a force. I think Angelina can do well in challenges. Aubrey is good at puzzles. Genevieve is a challenge for it. I really think that Stephanie's, she has stayed fit. She's still athletic. Guys, I think this is your challenge team. This team that's just going to dominate challenges from the get-go. The problem with this tribe is I could also see a great deal of chaos in this tribe. First of all, you've got Q. Q is a wild card that I personally want to align with him because you just don't know what he's going to do. He could do something that completely blows up your game. I think people are going to be wanting to get Aubrey out. I think Angelina can be a bit of a wild card. What are we going to get with Colby? Are we going to get Heroes versus Villains Colby, or are we going to get Australia Colby? And Colby has a history of kind of not being the most strategically sound person in Survivor. This could be Chaos Tribe. But I also feel like this could be the most dangerous tribe in terms of challenges. Overall, I think the tribes are pretty evenly matched, but I think Vatu definitely has the edge. When I look at the tribe with old school versus new school, I feel like once again, old school is going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. Looking at Sela, you've got Sari, you've got Jenna, you've got Ozzy. You could make the argument that Rick is an old school player, Christian, but I could see Rick and Christian more falling in with the new school, leaving Sari, Jenna, and Ozzy kind of on an island. Kahlo tribe, you've got Coach. You can make the argument that not John. You can make the argument that Mike is kind of an old school player, but really I could see Coach being kind of the outlier in Kahlo, where everybody else I think could bond pretty well. I could see maybe Coach and Mike being outliers in Kahlo, and everybody else bonding pretty well and them being the two outliers. Vatu, Colby, Aubrey, Stephanie, those are kind of the three outliers there where I could see everybody else kind of bonding, and Colby, Aubrey, and Stephanie kind of being on an island as the old school players. Will Rizzo look at Colby as someone to get rid of to increase his resume, or will Rizzo be real starstruck with Colby? Same with Stephanie. I just don't know. I don't know. I think that Vatu, like I said, Vatu could be chaos. It could also be a tribe that really gels. I just don't know. If I was them, I'd get rid of Q right away. Even though he is strong, I'd get rid of him right away. And then I think the Vatu tribe would have a better chance of gelling and becoming a force to be reckoned with. So, like I said, I think they're all pretty evenly matched, but I would definitely give Vatu the edge. That's my breakdown of the 3 tribes in Survivor 50. What do you think? Who's going to form bonds immediately? What kind of conflicts do you see? And which tribe do you think is the strongest just on first assessments? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Again, while you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.